So I always throw back to her but I came up in that time of like, it was right when the golden era was ending, but the Divas era hadn't completely like they didn't have the Divas title belt yet. It was still
Okay.
the women's championship. It wasn't the Divas brand.
Gotcha.
I came in this weird like transition. I say the transition era, like where the all the girls, the veterans, then that were going to pass the torch. Jacqueline was gone. Molly Holly was gone. I was there trying out while they were still there, but they were kind of leaving. And the last two kind of Mohegans was Trish and Lita, and Tori and Candace. So they were
Right.
still in like that playmate kind of thing. But um, it was weird. Because that last year in OVW, and Rip, I don't know if you remember this or not. Um, that last year they'd started hiring all the divas, so like they were doing the Diva Search, and they started hiring all these like Maria Kanellis and Maurice and um, Michelle McCool and Kelly and Foxy, which and who I'm friends with all these women, Candace and all these girls. But I felt like I had this moment there in OVW where I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm not even what they're looking for. Like, I've dedicated all this energy,
Yep.
all my time, all my energy into perfecting my craft to be the best female wrestler, hopefully in the world, or at least one of. And I'm not even, they don't even want female wrestlers. Like, what am I doing wrong? And I almost quit. And Tommy was the head of, like, he was head of developmental or head of, yeah, developmental at the time. And he saved my career because he quietly told me to go on vacation, to go
Uh,
home for a couple weeks and just reset. And I had like a real coming to Jesus with my mom and my dad and all the things. And then I came back, and that's where I had written that storyline, which I originally wrote for Lita, which was this crazy stalker fan. Because you remember, Rip, like they would come down and they'd watch you wrestle, and they do. And I had about five false starts. One was supposed to be with CM Punk, and we debuted on Sunday Night Heat, and I was his manager. And even though we had worked together in TNA and the Gathering stuff, they saw us together and they were like, well, I like you and I like you, but you two together, I just don't get it. It doesn't work for me. And I'm so great. Then I was devastated, but
right.
now I'm super grateful because how different my career could have panned out if that was my start on Sunday Night Heat. So um, it's a lot of patience and a lot of you have to learn to be patient, but also keep going, because even if that opportunity wasn't to happen, I do feel like I would have had success in wrestling, obviously. But I just it was hard. It was hard because I felt like, after you are genuinely passionate and love this business, and you're not getting an opportunity because of that very reason,
Yeah.
you know? Um, but in the end it worked out all right for
Yeah. I
me. So
mean, 20, I keep saying 20 years later, it's probably about 20 years later. You're still around, and a lot of the divas
here I
are
am
nowhere to
on
be
this last
found.
rodeo anyway.